type shit.
AI type. I don't even know what that means.
You know, they've been making AI beats now. Like, you can't even
I'm
tell.
sure. I'm sure they are. Someone made the joke the other day. They were like, historians 100 years from now. Excuse me, AI bots 100 years from now. Something like that. So there you go. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
Always.
a pretty good joke. Yeah, no, it's all right. Doing all right, Bear?
Doing all right for a Friday.
There
Juneteenth
you go.
Friday, of course.
Juneteenth Friday.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Chilling.
Why not? All right. Well, welcome in. It's a horse racing happy hour. SoCal Saturdays. Every Friday we get together. We talk about the card tomorrow, wherever they are running in Southern California. Of course, that means we're headed to Los Alamitos. We're headed to Cypress for their racing this weekend. San Bertrando Stakes will anchor the card, both as the feature and as the closer. Pair of 6250 claimers right in the middle together, Barry. We should probably put a double together. So we got 6250 claimer, nothing wrong with that. But Barry Spears, Lurbo, hanging out with you. I am in the shade. Outside, I'm smoking a cigar though. Smoking a cigar though, and there's a very distinct reason. Is because right before we came on the air and I was setting up in my studio, Juan Hernandez went ahead and won a race at Royal Ascot today. Our guy, who took a selfie with us once. That's why he's our guy.
He's the GOAT for that.
3,000 race winner gets the job done. Aboard Basio there at Royal Ascot. Pretty good moment there. Oh, California.
Yeah, makes up for that. Makes up for that loss in the Kentucky Oaks. So I thought he had it. I thought he had that.
The clerk of scales or whatever there at Ascot that was like, I don't know if he's got enough weight. How about you go to hell? How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
How about that, clerk of scales?
Yeah, what was that about?
They call you. Yeah, the scales there. Yeah, yeah. How about you take your scales and shove them where you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to take down the goat.
Fingers and mash. No. What you said? Yeah. I know words.
All right, man. Yeah.
I know words.
All right, welcome back in. It is SoCal Saturdays here, Horse Racing Happy Hour. At some point, we will go deep inside the mind of Spears based on his handicapping on the sheet, at least. We will have a Barry's Boring Play of the Day. Unfortunately, no chances for Louis Jeff Mullins' Play of the Day. We will not have that today. That is not going to happen, Barry. No Jeff Mullins.
I guess there's got to be time cut out so you can all eat weights if you hang out with Jeff Mullins.
It's got to be time. Cut it out.
At least an hour, right?
Something like that. Don't skip leg day, kids. All right. So if you are new to the program, we are presented by Amwager and Amwager.com. They've got a $50 deposit match right now. 100% of that to you if you go sign up with them today. Of course, you can bet all the tracks there in Southern California with our friends at Amwager live in California as well. Is Amwager and Amwager.com. Barry, let's get after it. Race 1 at Los Alamitos on San Bertrando Day, on Bertrando Stakes Day, is on the dirt because that's what they run on at Los Alamitos, a dirt course. By the way, if you're not familiar, a 1 mile dirt course there. Usually used for both thoroughbred and quarter horse racing. Does get a 3-week tour. The Los Angeles County meet here for 3 weeks. The Los Al Derby is next weekend. We will talk about that then. But a maiden 50 to start the card here, Barry. And I noticed a trend with this card. Everything's a claimer except for the stake. And there are many maiden 50s, and these are popping up more and more in Southern California. And I think it's a way to protect these horses, yet put them into a spot where they eventually can be an optional claiming and starter allowance and that kind of stuff sort of company later on, because you're very unlikely to claim a horse for $50,000 at Los Alamitos this weekend. So it is a way to protect those horses. And I think we're seeing, frankly, a fair amount of that the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it actually kind of, if you're not following the circuit, you could get confused because you'll see a lot of those $50,000 horses end up in the optional claimer $50,000, but also in the state bird $20,000.
Right.
So you have to be careful. Some of those races are really tough on both ends of that, and you can find some live horses that way.
Go to the opener 5 furlong sprinting on the dirt course there at Los Alamitos. If you're also unfamiliar with their course, a little bit of a right turn going in to the final turn, at least a right move before you get there. Maiden 50 for Calbred 2-year-olds, Barry. We got a pair of these races on this card. 5 furlongs on the dirt here. Where did you land in race 1?
Yeah, this race, there's only 2 horses that have any experience whatsoever. When that happens, I tend to look at workout patterns and workouts themselves. I ended up on the 4 Hando's Rule. Has the longest, fastest gate work closest to the race, and you know how I love that. Also a bullet on May 22nd at the track that they will be running on. So I think those are both positive factors in a race that could go in a lot of different directions. But I'll land on the 4 and give them a shot first time out.
Got the 4 horse in here
Oh,
for Rafael
and
De Leon. Yeah, what's up?
and the
And
dam won at first asking. It really
okay,
limited sire stats and things like that, but
yeah.
the dam did win first time out, so maybe that's a sign.
4, 7, and 2 for you. I'll go ahead and put that 7 on top. Second time starter in here, who I thought showed okay on debut in the middle of the pack, essentially in one of those 2-year-old races at Santa Anita at the end of May. Quick turnaround here, but that's a good thing for Doug O'Neill, who wins on second starts here at 24% and going from maiden special to maiden claimer. Not always a great angle for people, Barry, because sometimes you're just putting the horse up for auction. And in this case, usually not with Doug O'Neill, who goes at 32%, decent sample size as well. He and Kyle Frey are going to, it's very clear, Doug O'Neill has chosen his jockeys. He wants Jaramillo and he's at Santa Anita. He's going to ride with Kyle Frey this weekend at least there at Los Alamitos. The two of them that, by the way, have won 3 of their last 7 starts at Los Alamitos together. So keep me sane. The 7 horse there, also the official horse of every dad this weekend for Father's Day. Romanicon is another one in here, Barry. That's another first-time starter, the 6 horse. I think the workout pattern makes a lot of sense, but really I'm trusting Jorge Parabon here, the trainer, with a first-time starter. He's also pretty good with 2-year-olds. I think a guy, it's kind of underlooked just because he does have a smaller barn, a smaller operation there, but 35 maiden claiming starts with a 20% win total tells me that he knows how to slot horses in here. It's a son of Bodie Express as well. Tis now on the dam side. Well-bred horse. Interested to see him here. So I'll go 7, 6, and 4. I do have your 4 in the 3rd spot. You've got the 7 as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the 2 here. Another first-timer, Swift Appeal, likely the favorite here because of the connections, Peter Miller and Joel Rosario.
Yeah, most likely the favorite. Although I did think that the 6 might take quite a bit of action too, just because of the first time starter stats for George Parabon. That being said, this horse Swift Appeal, the 2, has a nice workout on June 6th, almost comparable to the Hando's Rule workout on June 9th. This horse probably has some zip. I know Peter Miller's his stats don't really scream first time starter, but he can win. He's very, very capable. Gets Joel, who's riding the best he has in a few years lately. And I think they might have a shot. I mean, I'm not going to appreciate the price they are, but they definitely have a shot to win this race.
4, 7, and 2 for Barry, 7, 6, and 4 for me. Race 1 at Los Alamitos. I texted you this earlier this week that I actually kind of appreciate Joel going all in on the Los Alamitos, like showing that he's all in on being a rider in Southern California. And one way to show that is pick up 5, 6 mounts on a 9 race card there at Los Alamitos.
Might not have a choice. I mean, I know they're running at Churchill and things, but it might not even be worth his time where he could, collect all the checks out there and
sure
stay at home.
Well, and further that relationship with Peter Miller and other people out there as well.
Right, yeah, building his business back, that whole thing, and yeah,
exactly. Especially if he's going to be riding well, man. That people will. Hey, we have noticed that on this show. If you're riding well, people will hire you out in Southern California. For sure. By the way, a 50-cent pick 5 to start in race 1 there. It's the only bet less than $1 that is at Los Alamitos. If you are following along, can you play a 10-cent super still out there? Yes, you can. Okay,
yes,
so 10-cent supers and 50-cent pick 5s. Otherwise, everything's $1 minimum, including the pick 4, which starts in race 2. And we move on to race 2 here. It is a maiden 20 going a mile, which is start at the same line at which you finish. Long stretch, but very quick to the first turn there, Barry. This is for maidens 3 and up on the $20,000 level. I'll go first here. And I landed on the 2 horse in here, Barry. That is Nash for cash, not Steve Nash, but rather Nash for cash. And I am taking a massive flyer on this one. But I think this horse just needs to stretch out. It's a son of Motown. Tis now on the dam side, has been sprinting before and is just kind of a hanger. I think we saw a little bit from this horse at the end of last race. He did pass some tired horses late, and I wonder if he won't be one that just kind of hangs around, Barry, and picks off these horses as they get further and further along. If you look at the rest of this field, you do have a horse like Che in the one who's been going 2 turns for a long time, but simply hasn't shown an ability to close in to other horses. But you get like a Bucky's Boy or you get a Francesconi. They've been running at 1,000 yards, which is essentially 4.5 furlongs. Francesconi has at 6 furlongs on the turf as well. I wonder if maybe this isn't just one that, given the breeding, can just kind of hang and stay and go ahead and win this one. So I'll take a long shot chance there on the 6 horse. Why did I just talk about the 2 horse, Barry?
I don't know. Why did you?
Because I saw a race two and I started talking about the two horse, and I made the case for the two horse for no reason. I'm going 6, 5, and 1. I'm going to check out of this race, Barry. Who you got in race two?
I
The same
ended up
horses.
chalking
What am I
out
doing?
here,
Bah.
unfortunately.
Barry's boring play of the day.
Yeah, pretty much. I went to the 5. Why not another one? That last race when they dropped into this company kind of stands out. I don't really think they need the lead or anything, but they may end up on the lead
Yep.
depending on what happens with the inside horses there with Bucky's boy, who probably will have to show something, and maybe Francisconi. Uh, they might be out there, possibly Nash for cash, and this horse could get a sweet trip right behind him. I really, this horse seems to be a standout to me. Che really hasn't shown the affinity to run on dirt or turf, and
Or
it
Tapeta.
seems to be, yeah, it just seems to be rolling up late, doesn't get out of the gate very well. I'll pass at 2-1 on the morning line and go with the super favorite. Why not another one?
All right, so I told you why you would take a flyer on the two. I agree with Barry on the top three here. I went 6, 5, and 1 in race two. I saw the number two. My brain said, go talk about the two horse. And I made up a bunch of things about why that's a good horse. He's not. It would be a really, really long shot and a really surprising outcome if he went on and won race two with the two. And now he will, now that I've made the case for him. But 6, 5, and 1 for me here, Barry. The irony is, as we move on to race three on the card here at Los Alamitos on a Saturday, Louis Rabeau and Barry Spears hanging out with you. This is the first time in the history of this show, regardless of field size and all the things, you and I have the same three horses on top in back-to-back races.
Hmm.
Not in
Wow.
the same order, but same horses. So we move on to race three. Again, on the dirt there at Los Alamitos, the SoCal Saturdays, presented by Amwager on Horse Racing Happy Hour. Louis Rabeau, who promises to get the rest of the show more accurately finished alongside Barry Spears, maiden 20 in race three here on the filly and mare side of things. 3 and up in this group here, Barry. 6 furlong sprinting. Where'd you land in race three?
Yeah, this race is one that gives me fits because of the fact they all sort of look the same. Nobody's really done any or much running at all in any race. There are a lot of them are dropping into this company. So usually when that happens and you get this kind of mix of horses, I tend to try to throw downfield a little bit. I landed on the 2 song and dance. That last race, dropping in and switching surfaces uh, to this kind of company ran a pretty decent race. It's hard to tell when you get buyer speed figures like let's say under 60.
Yep.
It's kind of they all kind of blend together, so I wouldn't take that as like a solid 37 that they had in the last race. It's probably a little better than that, especially based on who they're running against, when, why, and all the context. But if they run something similar to that, I think they might win at a price.
2, 4, and 6 for Barry here. And by the way, I want to back up. I have the two in my second spot here. I think Edgar Payeras can have a big weekend here, especially
Sure,
in
he's
these
on a
kinds
lot of
of
live
races.
mounts. Yeah.
He's on a ton of live mounts here. He's a guy who rides at Los Al a lot. And frankly, has started. We're seeing his name more and more over at Santa Anita as well. I really like him in sprint races, Barry, because that's legitimately his specialty. And so, no, I think the 5-1 price, if you can get that Ruben Gomez trainee there, the two of them do not hook up very often. They have won one of their last 6 together. But yeah, this is one even, Barry, that work on the Tapeta. I was thinking about that going through the handicapping for this race. It makes sense given how many turf horses we see, especially guys like Peter Miller and Doug O'Neill, who are not afraid to put a turf horse at Santa Anita on the dirt at Los Alamitos. Makes sense, I think, that Ruben Gomez would try this one here on the dirt as well. So 2, 4, and 6 for Barry. I'll talk about the 4 horse who's top of my handicapping in split. Joel Rosario gets the ride for Tim Yakteen, who's had this one at the maiden 50 level. We get the class drop here for sure, but we also get to move to the dirt, but kind of a friendly dirt surface for those horses trying it for the first time. I'm also kind of banking on Joel to have a big day as well, but 20% dirt to turf, or turf to dirt, excuse me, for Tim Yakteen, who's very good in maiden claimers as well at 21%. A big part of the game in California is navigating these maiden claimer ranks, and I expect this horse to run a big one here. 4, 2, and 6 for me here, Barry. What do you like about the 6 horse in here?
That Miss Blame, is dropping way down, and I
Way
don't
down.
think their race back in October last year was all that bad. It was a maiden special weight on the dirt going a mile. They didn't run all that poorly in that race. They were just really up against it. I mean, Super Corridor, who went on to win the Breeders' Cup, won that race. So you can imagine the level of competition in there. You know, you have mistrial, bank shot in that race alone, and then you look through this horse's past performances, and this horse has been keeping good company, just not running all that well. The class relief makes a ton of sense here. Um, you know, Doug O'Neill seems to be angling to try to win every race, like literally every single race here on
I agree.
Saturday, and
I
this
agree.
one has a really good shot.
2, 4, and 6 for Barry. 4, 2, 6 for me. Just flip the top two again. First time in the history of SoCal Saturdays, Barry and I have had the same top 3 horses in consecutive races since we've started doing this thing. Race 4 starts their traditional pick six, $2 pick six, and the pick 3 rolls on here as well. You can get a $1 pick 3 in all of their spots. The doubles are bottomed out at $2, by the way, there at Los Alamitos. We're moving on to race 4 is another claimer, but non-maiden claimer for non-3 lifers, 5.5 on the dirt, 3 and up, again, which have never won 3 races. A pretty straightforward group here, Barry, I thought. But in race 4, I went ahead. I landed on the 7 horse here, who is Smoke 'em Easy. Or do you think it's Smoke 'em Ez? I think it's Easy.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that as well. Martin Valenzuela Jr. trains this one, Barry. And because this horse has been winning in mixed company, you're not going to see all of the wins that this horse has. And so that's why this horse is 2-1, even though on paper, this horse is 1 for 13 lifetime with 3 seconds and 3/3 against Simply Thoroughbreds. This is one that's shown itself very well against other horses, certainly on the dirt, but has very good runs at Los Alamitos as well. Good speed figures. I think the horse will do just fine in this group. So 7, 6, and 1 for me, Barry. You like the 6 horse in here in Roland with Poland.
Yeah, and I hate taking chalk like this, but there's an explanation for it. Rolling with Poland is the fastest horse in this race, and you know you get these horses that are coming out of 1,000-yard races, mixed company races, night Sal. But that being said, if you have a horse that's faster than those horses with the same running style, usually cooks those ones that aren't fast enough, and that includes the 2 Fuego del Sol, Drop the Bit, the 3 horse, and probably the 4 Noble Minded as well. And that's where a horse like the 1 Crucible and possibly the 5 Just Deal will pick up the pieces and finish second. And that's really how I see this race. I think Rolling with Poland has to go to the front, stay on front, get past everybody, and I think once they get to the lead, they'll be all set.
Kyle Frey gets the mount there. Single for you in the early sequence?
No, I'd actually single the horse in the 3rd.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. But you
Yeah,
think
I'd
Crucible
rather
has a
single the
shot
2.
here? Do you think Crucible has a serious shot here? The 1 horse under Edgar Preyes, who, I think could have a big day on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to get a pretty good trip, and if for any reason, um, the 6 horse gets involved with anybody up front, it could spell trouble. And a horse like Crucible could definitely pick up the pieces. I like their last race. Um, got roughed up at the start, according to the comments. I did watch the replay. It was rough enough, not something that would take them out totally, but they ran okay. After that, probably needed the race. I think they'll run better this time.
Crucible trained by Adan Farias as well, who has 1 win this year, 1 for 23, looking for his second one in the thoroughbred ranks this weekend. Moving on to race 5, starts the late pick 5 there at Los Alamitos, SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour Podcast Network. We're presented by Amwager and Amwager.com, a 100% deposit match up to $150 waiting for you at the site, especially if you are a new customer. Race 5 in here is another claimer, 6250, the first of 2 in a row here on the card. 5.5 on the dirt, 3 and up on the male side of things. $15,000 in the pool for this one, Barry. Where'd you land in the sprint?
Yeah, this is another brutal race where everybody beats each other and they're all facing each other multiple times, and it's kind of trying to kind of pinpoint whose turn it is to win. Based
Yeah.
on everything and
By the
how it
time we
shook
get to
out as
the
far as post position.
yeah, by the time we get to the pick five will pays, a lot of these horses are going to look really similar, are they not? I mean, like that's kind of this. That's where we're at on this race, I think.
I would think so. This would be the horse that I mean the race that everybody spreads because this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Again, they all kind of look the same. They all are running in the same races.
Yep.
But I ended up on the two Mischief's King. Two back, March 21st. This horse got in a little bit of trouble out wide. They were in the 5 hole and just was out wide and didn't really get a good run. Running Tiger won that race, who's in this race, coincidentally. They came out of that and won fairly easily. And I think they get the same sort of setup. There should be some pace up front. A horse like Rassler, who does like to quit an awful lot. So I would use that horse as a target if if I was Mischief's King, and just kind of sit right next to that horse because you really have to think that that horse is just going to spit it out late, and they can pick up the pieces and get the win. And I think that's the trip that they want, and that's the trip that they're going to get. Whether they can finish and win, we'll see. But I think they're going to be in the right spot.
2, 1, and 5 for Barry here. I'll use his one on top here. From the rail, don't love that, but Edgar Prieras, I do love. And this is largely a jockey play, won't lie to people. Gets back to the level that we saw this one run just missed in April at Santa Anita Park. Tried higher levels than this, almost certainly because of just because of the competition level and the availability in the condition book. Gets in at the $5,000 last time and just doesn't run well. But I do think the move to Pieris makes sense for Carroll's Comic, the 1 horse, and here went to the 6 horse second, which you did not talk about. The Key is Unity. What a nice horse to talk about on Juneteenth. You understand me, Barry? What a nice horse to bring up on Juneteenth is The Key is Unity.
Well, I guess there's a reason why he's not running on Juneteenth, because he's not going to win on Juneteenth or tomorrow.
There you go. I disagree. I think he's got a shot here. Looked really good last time at Los Al against other thoroughbreds. Before that was second at this level at 4.5 furlongs. I think would have won the race had it been at this distance. So I actually think 5.5 for The Key is Unity will be a lot better. And I get Orduna Rojas, who's a bit of a specialist here at Los Alamitos as well. So 1, 6, and 2 for me, 2, 1, and 5 for Barry. In race 5 closes out the early pick 5, starts the late pick 5 as well there. Tomorrow at Los Alamitos on SoCal Saturdays here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. Moving on to race 6, Barry. I'm going to have you go first just to give you a heads up. Another 62.50 claimer in here, 5.5 on the dirt, 13,000 on the line again, but on the filly and mare side, 3 and up here, Barry. Non-2 lifers in this one. Where'd you land in the other sprint?
Yeah, this one I think might be a chaos race where we could get a price. Molly Jensen is just not reliable, and they keep spiraling down the class ladder. Eventually going to hit the sweet spot. It's probably here, but I think there might be some other speed in Big Coin. Maybe Comanche Gal might get out there. And then that leaves the 8 Duchess Cat, who might be able to sit a great trip. I know they just broke the maiden last time, but they did it in a pretty decent fashion and faces a field that's not that strong. I think they can springboard out of that race and run another good race. They were favored actually in that race on June 6th. Kind of got a little wide stalking trip. I think they can get the same thing. The trainer, doesn't run very many horses, but they get to the winner's circle quite a bit and hooks up with Adrian Escobedo. I think all the elements are there. 8-1. I think we'll get most of that. I mean, that horse might get bet a little bit. So I'd say like 5 or 6-1, but that's good enough for me.
Arturo Williams, by the way, has had 7 starters this year. 4 of them are this horse, 2 of those starts. And so after trying the maiden 12-5 level in a mixed company at Los Al, win against thoroughbreds at the 5 level, goes ahead and wins, keeps the horse, puts it in for 62.50 here. I think Duchess Cat, big spot, big chance here as well. I went to the 4 horse on top. I have that one second, Barry, in Duchess Cat, but I'll take Edgar Pieris again in a race like that. Comanche Gal, daughter of Animal Kingdom. She's now 6 years old. Did win at Turf Paradise, going 6 furlongs back in April. Tried Los Al last time in mixed company, did not like it that time, but that was under the lights. I wonder if getting back to daytime here will just make more sense. A second try on the course as well. And this is one that when we saw it at the maiden 50 level, finished second under Armando Ayuso in the summer of 24. This is one just getting back to the track for the third time since the August of 2024. And so I think is ready for a breakout here as well. 4, 8, and 2 for me, Barry. You've got the 2 second in your handicapping in Savannah's Big Girl. Savannah became a very cool name right after I left school. That was like the girls just a little bit younger than me were named Savannah. Just the McKennas and the Mackenzies, and the Kennas and the Kinseys and the Kinleys. They're all a little younger than me, all of them, and many of them hang out with my daughter.
Just a smidge, right?
They all hang out with my daughter. 8, 2, and 4 here. Savannah's Big Girl. What do you like about this daughter, Mr. Big?
This horse actually hasn't gotten good trip in a while. If you look through the past performances, after they broke the maiden, they went in a spot that they were never going to win. Got checked, shuffled back, and had no chance. Almost the same thing happened in the April 30th race, and they got roughed up early, never had a chance. Last time, they were pretty much in the same boat. But going long, and I don't think this horse really wants to go long. I think they figured that out pretty early, and then they drop into this spot. I think this is a way more winnable spot than the others. They get some post relief here, and I think they'll give a good effort. Again, this is wide open. I really wouldn't ideally want to take 7-2 on this horse. I would want a little bit higher, but just depends on how things are going to be bet. But I gather a lot of these horses are going to be around that 4-1 price.
There you go. You like that blur in the background? Ooh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding. We're not going to do that. 8, 2, and 4 for Barry. 4, 8, and 2 for me. And then, Barry, I said something earlier in the show that we've never had back-to-back races
a few things
with the same top 3. Well, guess what? Race 7, we did it again. Race 7, by the way, on the dirt at Los Alamitos, because that's all they have. 5 furlong sprinting, maiden 50 here on the filly and mare side of things, but certainly just the filly side here. 2-year-olds in here, Barry. Cowbreds, lots of first-time starters in here, a couple with other starts as well. 3 total starts in the field of 6 here. I'm going to let you go ahead here as we start the late pick 3. Who do you got in this one?
Not much to go on. We only got 2 horses that
you
have
and I
run.
landed on the exact same 3 horses in order.
In order, I know. I went longest, fastest gate work close to the race, and that is owned by number 5, Island Splash. June 13th, 47-2, handling from the gate. Kind of the best work on the page, too. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but I'll give that one a shot. 5-2.
I think that, yeah. I think the 2 on the outside here are very interesting because of the work patterns. And I think Rolando Quinones, who trains the 6 horse in here, Senora Gobernadora, which means Mrs. Governor. Daughter, of course, of Governor Charlie. Yep. Is in here for 50. Again, we talked about it for the condition book. This is just, to me, this is a made special weight race. I'll be honest. It just is. And I think she's really, really interesting. I love that he has been alternating and working in these gate works, and she seems to be getting better at the gate works. Does that make sense? In other words, she's improving in her time out of the gate. And to me, as we step toward the race, I think that really matters. If I were playing the late pick 3, Barry, I think I might trust the 5 and the 6 here and move on with my ticket.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, that's really what it looks like. You could possibly throw in the 2, but I think the 2 outside horses will probably dominate this event.
I think that's probably correct as well. Move on to the late double. They're at Los Alamitos on a Saturday. SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour podcast network is another sprinting race here. 5.5 on the dirt, 12.5 maiden here, $15,000 on the line for fillies and mares 3 and up in this one, Barry. And I think an interesting race because you and I definitely went very, very different directions in this one. But I went 4, 1, and 6 in race 8 as I type in the rest of my information there, double checking my notes to make sure that I'm right. And I'm on the chalk here in the Peter Miller trainee.
Of course you are.
Joel Rosario. Been off the. You stop it right now. What was Josh's boy's name that he threw? Man, that bro That dude is just
Rough.
staring at the bottom of a bus for the rest of his life. Our guy Josh, who then told us that all the Derby horses were bums and none of them would run well in the Belmont. So whoever that is, actually, that guy's not under the bus. Josh is under the bus. That's what I'll say about that. How about that? Yeah, no, that's not what's happening here. But 4, 1, and 6 for me is Perfect Smile. Last seen at Del Mar at this level, just missing. Peter Miller bringing this one in here, I'm sure, to try to win and get off the schneid here. Picks up Joel Rosario. And this is one in Peter Miller as a trainer, wins a ton off of these kinds of layoffs, has been working the horse, of course, at San Luis Rey. The works from the gate and all that look just fine to me, so I will go ahead and try Perfect Smile on top. And then I went to the one horse next, Barry, but you have that one on top in your handicapping, so I'm going to go ahead and have you talk about the one, Blame It on Abby.
Yeah, and the reason I went to this horse is I just don't have any confidence in Perfect Smile in this spot. They really should have won that race back in August, and
I agree.
Just didn't show any heart whatsoever to get by, and I don't think that's going to change. This horse does pretty much the same thing every time. I think there's other speed in here, like the 5 Twisted Humor, that could make it a little bit difficult. Even the 7 Free Nomination might be out there winging it, and I think we might get sort of a pace meltdown. And I think Blame It on Abby, the one, is the most likely horse to pick up those pieces. I know they're kind of fiddling with things, taking the blinkers off, but their races have been pretty formidable, and this is a much easier spot than what they've been running in. And I think they might be sitting on a really good race on top of everything else. So we'll use that one on top. But the 9, Embracing Autism, is very interesting here. Started out at Emerald Downs, didn't run a step, came over to Santa Anita, didn't run a step, but that work on June 6th kind of stuck out in comparison to the rest of these horses. There may be some talent in there, especially on the drop. The trainer, Gennaro Vallejo, does really good turf to dirt, has really good numbers turf to dirt. Not a huge sample size, but enough to think that this trainer does well whenever they do it. I think they're about 32%. So that's a real high number. Cesar Belmont's a pretty good rider. He's just not getting the kind of mounts that he needs in order to shine, but that'll come over time. I think he can make a little lemonade out of a lemon here and kind of pick up the pieces and get in the number. I think this horse is live at a price.
Shout out, by the way, to the Taboda Racing Stable folks and their support of autism. And as a dad of a kid with autism, guy that you've hung out with quite a bit, Barry, appreciative of them. And
my guy, C-Note.
That's right. Taking care of things here in the Commonwealth, but I appreciate them. Every time I see their horses in, makes me smile, makes me think of my kids. So there you go. 1, 9, and 6 for Barry there in the penultimate race tomorrow at Los Alamitos. I'll go 4, 1, and 6 in the same race. The closer is the feature. It's the stakes race, and it's called the Bertrando. I want to call it the San Bertrando, but it's not called the San Bertrando. It's called the Bertrando. Not even better. It's a state bred race, folks. We're going a mile on the dirt here, Barry. We love these state bred races, especially when we get to this level. A mile, it is for California sired horses 3 and up. We got a decent field of 6 in here, Barry. You and I went a different direction in here. A couple in here that people, even if they don't follow Calbred races, know these horses as ones that have been running in open company. Certainly, you've known Coach Cronin doing that, and None Above the Law has largely been running in open company as well for Peter Miller. They'll be the 2 favorites, Barry. You went a different direction, though, in the Bertrando. Where did you land?
Well, I mean, when I was looking at this race, I had noticed that Louis had put the train together of the 8 races prior and forgot the caboose.
I'm not good today. It's not good today. we lost power Wednesday night at 12:30.
Ooh.
And I didn't sleep the rest of the night because we had a tornado come through. I'm not gonna lie. We had a tornado come through.
Oh wow. No, that's not fun.
It's not fun. And when you have a 9-year-old daughter who hears the sirens for like 3 hours and is not, it's you know this. It's okay. I'm not complaining. It's one of those nights I'll remember as a dad for a very long time. I'm not mad about it. Your boy's discombobulated. That's all I'm gonna say. You're right. The show sheet looked like garbage, and it was
no, it didn't look like garbage.
My brain by the end of the day was heavy garbage. So go ahead.
There was no end to it. But we're going with the Jalen Brunson daily double with the one Speedy Wilson.
Like it.
Um, I know you see that 100-point buyer there in the last race, but I think this
And in the
horse,
Malibu.
yeah,
This
obviously
horse was
this horse can
great in the
dial it
Malibu,
up a
man.
little bit.
Yes.
And I just think they're going to get a really sweet trip here. I don't know if they could equal one of those 100-point buyers, and they might not have to. But they stand to get a really, really good trip. Shea Brennan, Coach Cronin, who should be out there winging it. I just think they're better than Coach Cronin and
Okay.
can outfinish that horse. Coach Cronin should get the run of the race here. I don't know who
I agree.
could possibly get in front of that horse. Maybe None Above the Law if Joel is feeling froggy,
Maybe.
but I don't
Yeah,
think
right.
they really want the lead
They don't want to. I
either.
agree.
Although last time they ran pretty good, so they might end up trying it again. Peter Miller might give the instructions to just step on the gas and get to the front, or try to anyway. But that definitely makes it either way a better situation for Speedy Wilson. I'm thinking they're going to be sub 3-1 here, probably more 9-5 ish. But to close it out, you got a winner.
We go 1, 5, and 4 for Barry. I'll go 6, 5, and 4. I'm going to try the Peter Miller trainee here with None Above the Law, getting back to the dirt here where the horse hasn't been great, but I don't think of this as a dirt course. I think of this as the Los Alamitos course. I will be very honest. And turf course horses do really well here. I'm going to try this one who has a ton of experience at the mile. Is 3 for 7, to be fair, on the dirt at the mile as well. Last time doing that was not a good one, but that was in Jorge Barabon's barn. Has moved to Peter Billers, has essentially only been on turf since then. Did win last out at a mile and an eighth. And that was, like you said, being much closer to the pace. Barry, this is how I see this one playing out. Coach Cronin goes, None Above the Law is right there, sitting right off, and then does the rest of the work in the stretch. So give me None Above the Law to stalk Coach Cronin. Coach Cronin runs second for me in this race, and then Shea Brennan, who you also mentioned. I think, won the King Glorious here. I mean, this is a horse that is shown at Los Al can win over the mile as well. Armando Ayuso gets the mount here, who I really trust. Almost won the damn title at San Antonio this spring.
Yeah.
So, he's riding really well right now. Phil D'Amato picks him to ride this horse once again after that chosen Braun back in November. Time off, though, for Shea Brennan is a question mark for me, and so I'm going to play against there as far as being on top. So I'll go 6, 5, and 4 in the stakes race here. That I remember to put on the sheet once we got to the end of the day. By the way, if you were wondering why I am smoking a cigar for the show today, why we moved outside, why the red face of mine because of the red umbrella I'm using to stop the sun from baking me as though I'm doing Preakness Radio, that's a good joke for you, Barry, and Scott Wyckoff, and no one else. Is that your chocolate cigar? Is that your
yes,
chocolate
very
cigar?
much so. It is. Still haven't eaten it yet. You should be proud. I haven't eaten it yet, man.
Did you get that from Juno? Speaking of Southern California,
Yes, this was Santa Anita Handicap Day. But I ate the other one. I had two.
Well, I gave you mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I ate
mine.
yours.
You're holding mine. Yeah. Or you ate mine. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. But shout out to Water Hernandez getting that win. I'm serious though. This is good stuff, dude.
Well, for a guy that doesn't ride anywhere else but California, yeah, that's fantastic.
That's fantastic stuff for sure.
I wish he would ride elsewhere often. I like.
Well,
to
he
see
came
him go
here last
head-to-head.
year. Yeah, in 25, he was here over Derby weekend. He won 2 races.
I think he won. He won or two
won
this year
too.
too.
Yeah. I mean, no,
and almost pulled off the Oaks. He almost won the Oaks.
Now, to be fair, Juan's from Mexico, and I imagine living in LA is reasonably comfortable for him, right? And so I
feel you,
look,
man.
he's getting good mounts out there. He ain't got no reason to leave, but I'm with you, dude. It would be nice to a couple big weekends. Bring in JJ, a little work out of here.
Bring him into Saratoga. Scoop him some of that money.
Umberto Rispoli riding at Ellis. How do we feel about that?
It's glad to see him back. It's definitely going to spice things up out there at
it's interesting
in California, right? Because I mean, since he left, like how many people have come in? Like 4 or 5.
So Jaramillo and Rosario at the top end, and then Kazushi's really established himself as one of the top guys as well, right? And Armando, really, is Armando the biggest? It's a terrible word to use, but beneficiary of him not being there.
I think
Did
he's
Armando
more the benefit.
move up a level in mounts is what I'm getting at, right? We've always known
I think
Armando
that's
could
because
ride.
of Herrera left. Diego left.
Oh,
And
Diego
I think
left. Okay.
that's what kind of elevated him. So he slid into that spot. But he's made it work for him. And I
Absolutely.
just don't see, Rispoli coming back in the same stature he was when he left. Unfortunately, he's going to have to fight for those mounts because there's a plethora of good riders out there, and then you got the older guys, Mike Smith, still out there that can win races occasionally. So, yeah, it's a lot tougher colony, which I didn't have on my bingo card. I would, I thought
Here's
jockeys were going the other way, but here we
right.
are.
Here's what's fascinating to me about him being at Ellis is with Baffert having a more major string in Kentucky, right? And he's got Desert Gate and the Ohio Derby this weekend of all things, okay? With him taking the Midwest more seriously, I do wonder if Baffert's not going to have a 2-year-old string at Ellis. And if Umberto's going to be that rider. I think there's a chance.
Nah, I doubt it.
You doubt it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You just doubt
nah,
it. Okay,
he's got too much of a good thing going with Michael
but
McCarthy.
But Umberto's not going to Ellis if he doesn't have guarantees of mounts, right? I mean, because he could get
Right.
mounts in Southern California. That ain't it.
It's like the AAA rehab assignment. He'll be there, but
Ellis?
yeah,
They're running for 105 times a day.
I know.
That ain't a rehab assignment, bro. It's Kentucky in the summer, man. That's
okay.
No,
he's not staying there. I guarantee that.
He came here before and he went for something. So
well,
I hope it works out a little better.
Not only that, but yeah.
Or something, yeah.
So it's tough.
That was a
it's not
Churchill.
easy.
Hey, if Corey Lannery can't win races right now, that's how good the jock colony is in Kentucky.
That's what I'm saying.
That dude is unbelievable at Churchill. He can't get a win. And so shout out to Corey.
And then he's
retiring
battling
in a couple days here, actually. So
at Churchill, he'd be battling Jose and Irad also. So,
Tyler, Luis.
Right. You don't want,
it's loaded. Bro.
Just those 4 alone.
Just those 4. And Tyler's riding as well as he's ridden since the injury. His Salvatore Mile on East Avenue was beast work.
And then you sprinkle in a little Junior Alvarado occasionally and
a little sprinkle.
Yeah.
Little sprinkle. Well, you're moving this weekend. That's a hell of a way to spend Father's Day. What is your go-to on Father's? Do you have a go-to Father's Day? There's only 3 of you in the house, so you got to deal with women all the time. You're outnumbered 2-1 constantly. What's the Father's Day like? I have a very depressing Father's Day, but only people who watch this show will appreciate it coming.
I'm pretty boring as well. Just plain horses.
I know, Barry. That's why you and I are friends, because we're both boring.
And bread pudding is the dessert of choice on Father's Day. So yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's a tradition. Bread pudding. I can get behind that. All right. So I am. How about this? This is a very Louis Rabot thing to do. We're going on vacation next week, and so by the way, you and Josh got to handle this show, and
cool,
or you and someone, but it's Los Al Derby. We're not going to not do a show. We're doing a show. I'm just not doing it. But I'll probably do it. I have a problem, Barry. Sunday, I'm driving my family to Cincinnati, and they are going to Great American Ballpark. That is where the Cincinnati Reds play. But the Cincinnati Reds are in the Bronx to play the Yankees this weekend. So the Savannah Bananas are in town. I won the ticket lottery. I have a wife and 4 children. Guess how many tickets you win if you win the lottery for the Savannah Bananas?
2.
5.
Ooh.
So my wife is taking my 4 kids to the Savannah Bananas game, and I'm driving the 20 minutes to Belterra Park to play simulcast for 3 hours.
There you go.
So I'm just gonna go. They're not running that day.
You're playing the Pete Rose role.
I'm doing the Pete Rose thing. I'm leaving a Reds facility to go bet horses. That's exactly
all right.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go. It's and then I'm driving to Detroit. It sounds sad because it is, but I do get to spend 3 hours at the OTB, which is not sad. So that's good. So
no. And then you turn into Eminem. So yeah, cool.
I don't think that's what happens. I think more of like a Jack White. Am I not? No.
Nah.
No. Damn it.
Nah.
I'm more Eminem.
Well, better Eminem than Cheddar Bob. You know what I'm saying? Rabbit. Cheddar Bob shot himself. You don't want that.
I don't want that. I really don't.
No bueno.
Well, don't shoot yourself this weekend, kids. It's the horse racing.
Please.
He's Barry Spears. I'm Louis Rameau. Barry, happy Father's Day. Enjoy the weekend.
Happy Father's
Juneteenth,
Day,
of course. And we'll get out of here. Enjoy the racing this weekend. Again, go check out our friends at Amwager and Amwager.com. They've got that 100% deposit match up to $50 right now for new customers. Live in California as well, so go check them out at Amwager.com. He's Barry. I'm Louis. We'll be back at it next week probably. If not, happy Los Al to all of you.